It's the biggest game in 23 years for the University of Miami, and the tension is building out here in the Canes Nation. It's been starving for this moment, obviously, for a very long time. But inside the football program, they're maintaining a state of calm, staying in the moment, and trying not to let it get too big. There's so many keys to this game, and we'll be talking a lot about those tonight. Miami has to be able to control the clock and also put points on the board against a team that averages in the mid-30s in points. The defense has to be able to slow down an explosive unit which features a quality, multi-dimensional quarterback, a solid running game, and a pair of very explosive receivers. It gives us a lot to talk about tonight as we begin this new edition of CaneSport Live. Hello again, everybody. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com, and I welcome you once again to the People's Show, CaneSport Live. As always, it's your show. It's going to be driven by your participation. Many of our guests tonight have pre-registered with us over the course of time. If you want to come on the show and you have not pre-registered with us, you see the information at the bottom of your screen. You send us an email, canesport@yahoo.com. We'll send you a link to the studio. You come on in and we bring you on the show. As always, our managing editor at CaneSport.com, Matt Shodell, is going to be joining me here in the first hour of the show, and we'll be joined by the voice of the fan, Bruce Warner, in hour number 2. So let's get things started right now with the wit and wisdom of Matt Shodell, who has been spending a lot of his time over the last week or so studying this Texas A&M team. And Matt, welcome back to CaneSport Live, and talk to us a little bit about the challenges that you see here as Miami gets ready to travel to College Station this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I've done most of my research just by reading the CaneSport message boards. It's too difficult to know what's real or fake out in the internet. So anyway, basically my research based on that shows that Texas A&M sucks and Miami's going to win easily. I also learned this.
Sounds good to us.
I didn't know what the A&M stood for in Texas A&M. It turns out it's I didn't know this. Texas A&M stands for Texas Anemic and Miserable. I also learned that from my research on the CaneSport message boards. So yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, what do you want to do? Rattle off some stats. I mean, here's my personal opinion: is I think Texas A&M is overrated. Miami fans aren't going to like that I say this, but I think Miami is a little overrated, and I just base that on the fact that they didn't play the most challenging schedules. Like Miami didn't play the top teams. You could argue Notre Dame was a top team, but that was game 1. CJ Carr was awful. Blah 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 blah. His first start ever. Blah 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 blah. But that was their big win. Other than that, like, what win would you point to as like, this is it? We're great. Like we dominated this good team. Like, I just haven't seen that, so I'm not going to declare Miami as this great team. I know Miami fans want to, of course, say it, and they might be a great team. They might be a national championship level team. It's just hard to say it when you lose 2 out of 3 and then you beat 4 teams that aren't real good. The best of those 4 was a Pittsburgh team that was blown out 2 games earlier by Notre Dame. So I'm just not ready to say it yet for Miami. And Texas A&M, the same thing. Who the heck has Texas A&M beat? Like, they beat the same team Miami did, Notre Dame, by 1 point in a really high-scoring game. Other than that, they've had a pretty easy schedule. They barely squeaked by Auburn. They lost to Texas in the last game they played and only scored 17 points. Texas A&M, they thrive on an offense that scored 31 or more points in every single game except for 1. They beat South Carolina by 1 point. Is this great team? At Arkansas, they won by 3 points. I think Texas A&M is overrated. So I personally think Miami will win this game, but I'm not going to declare if Miami wins the game that, oh yeah, now we're going to beat Ohio State and Georgia. Like, the national media is going to do it. They want their clicks. They want the attention on their whatever's. Like, that's just how I see it. I'm sort of like try to figure out what's real and what's not real. And I think Miami's a really good team, but I think that they might be a little overrated by the national press. And I think the same thing for Texas A&M. A lot of these reporters are saying that whoever wins this game has a great chance to upset Ohio State and win the national title. On 3 people are saying that, who know what they're talking about. So maybe I'm just the idiot, but I just don't see it. So anyway, I've always said 10-2 in the playoffs this year, and I've always said compete for a national title, be at that level, in other words, right, of a national title caliber roster through and through next year. That's what I've always said. I still stick by that. And then, just in general terms, I see the Texas A&M offense as having the edge, believe it or not, over the Miami defense, and the Miami offense having the edge over the Texas A&M defense, which I know is backwards based on what we saw from Miami all year. But that's how good I think the Texas A&M offense is. Casey Concepcion and Marcel Reed are a handful to deal with. They have another speed receiver. They might have their top running back might be back this week, who's second team all SEC last year. He's missed the last, 5 or 6 games injured. They have an offensive line that's only given up 12 sacks. Like, up and down the board, that offensive system and that offensive attack, unless Marcel Reed can't throw straight because he's too hyped or something, like if Marcel Reed is on point, it's going to be tough. Miami's going to have to win 34-31, 31-28, something like that. And on the flip side, I don't think the Texas A&M defense is that good. Like, I just don't. I look at it. They have one great defensive end. I understand they lead the nation in sacks. I get it. But I don't think they face an offensive line like Miami's. So I do think that as long as Shannon Dawson has a good game plan, and by the way, I do think Mark Fletcher plays way more of this game than people think because he can pass protect. Unfortunately for Miami, because as much as I love Gerard Pringle, I don't think he's going to play much. This is a defense that loves to send linebackers and safeties, drop defensive ends, including their top sack guy, into coverage. And there's so much weird stuff that the Aggies do, especially on third downs, that I find it hard to believe that Pringle will ever be in the game unless this is a pure run play. Like, if Pringle's in the game, they're not passing. But the problem with that is A&M's going to know it. They probably, I'm pretty stupid. I know the Aggies coaches are pretty stupid, but they're not as stupid as me. So if they see Gerard Pringle in the game on a third down, on a second down, on a first down, it's probably an 80% chance Miami's running the ball. Or it's going to be a quick hitter. They're certainly not dropping back and putting Pringle in pass protection against these guys as a true freshman. But I do think Miami has a big advantage with their receivers against the A&M secondary, which is not very good. But they just got to give Carson Beck time to throw. Like, if Carson Beck, his average time of not being pressured is 85.3%, something like that. That's 85.3% kept clean in the pocket, according to the morons at Pro Football Focus. And I'd say, honestly, if they just keep him clean 75% of the time, then I'm good with that. Like, they'll score 28 plus points, 75% clean. Like, there will be guys open. And what I don't want to see happen is Shannon Dawson go into this shell and be worried, and let's just play it close and see what happens. Like, they need to attack. They are the underdog. They are on the road. They cannot fall behind 10-0 in the first quarter, have the crowd, going crazy. We know Miami already has some problems with pre-snap penalties. They get too excited. They clearly don't communicate that well on offense. They do on defense. They've had, I want to say, 19 offensive line penalties in 12 games, which is ridiculous for a really experienced offensive line. And actually, I think it might be more than that. But that's going to be massive. They have to go on the attack. They can't be passive. This is not the game to, let's just keep it close to the fourth quarter and hope it works out. Because you'll be down by 14 points with 5 minutes left if you do that. Anyway, have I been on mute this whole time because you haven't said a word? I'm assuming.
I'm letting you talk. I mean, you're spitting out some good information. Like, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm done.
All right. So you talk about Miami being overrated and not looking like a national championship level team. And that might be true, but I would want to take you back to the beginning of the season, August 31st, when Notre Dame came to town. And I would say Notre Dame is the most comparable team to what we're going to see on Saturday that Miami's played this year. And when Notre Dame and Texas A&M played in South Bend, it was a pretty even football game. So these teams are at a pretty much the same level. I feel comfortable saying that. Now, how does that compare to, like, say, an Ohio State national championship level contender? We can't really say because we don't have anything to compare it to. But I think coming out of the Notre Dame game, we would have said that, wow, this Miami team looked pretty damn good at all levels, and they're a national championship contender. Now, what is skewing that, and is what is making you say what you're saying tonight, is all the stuff that's happened along the way, and there's been a lot of it. I mean, giving up the big leads against Notre Dame and Florida and Florida State. Not being able to score at a sufficient level against Louisville and SMU, 20-21 points. Miami scores 20-21 points on Saturday. They're not winning the football game. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. Got to be able to score. And so that kind of skewed us. And if we're using common sense, we don't want to overreact to what we've seen the last month either, because it's been other than maybe Pittsburgh, which is borderline, it's been some pretty weak teams that they've been playing here the last month of the season when they are arguably have looked phenomenal. So I'm not sure we know what this Miami team is going to be on Saturday. And Matt Shodell, you might be right. It might be an overrated Miami team that shows up in College Station. It might be an underrated team if they're able to pull it all together and put a game plan together and go.
Did you freeze or did I freeze? I can't even tell.
I think we had a little blip there, but
did I freeze or did you freeze?
I don't know what happened, but the internet went cloudy for a minute, but I think we're back. But all right, so but the point making is that we do not really know what we have in this Miami team because of all the different faces that they have put on over the course of the year, and it makes it very tough. But you know what? So what? Like, why do we have to know what they're going to do on Saturday? Everyone's excited. Unfortunately, not a lot of people were able to get tickets at a normal price. The Canes fans,
what they have? They had
left
three.
To the
they gave us
aftermarket because Texas
they
A&M
gave us 3,000 tickets. I think, right? 3,000. Is that what they gave us?
3,500. I believe the number is 3,500. Yes,
I was told 3,000.
That's insane. But
insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's a home game. That's apparently what they do for all their games, and they sell out their stadium. I mean, it's a home game for them, and they're not obligated to give it more tickets than that. Now, Miami wins here, it goes to the Cotton Bowl, it's going to be a different ticketing situation. They're going to have more than enough seats. I mean, you probably get 25, 30,000 seats for that game, and everyone's going to be able to go. But we got to get there first, so we'll keep talking about it. You keep talking about next year being the year when this team's going to be a national championship caliber. And I'll put up a big caution.
I'm glad you froze again. This is the Matt Shodell Show. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Where they're playing.
By the way, you froze. You keep freezing, just so you know. I mean, you froze again. Bring on a caller, guy, because honestly, you keep going in and out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but getting back to what I was saying, you keep talking about next year being the year where Miami's national championship caliber. And, what I would say to that is we don't know what next year's team is going to look like yet. They're losing a lot of talent off of this year's team that they are going to have to replace.
No, I'm just reflecting my prediction. I'm saying my prediction from 2-3 years ago that I've been saying. That's what I've been talking about. I'm not saying
I know
the roster. I'm just saying that's the upward trend I see with Mario, right? That's how he builds it. That's the 4-year, 5-year plan. That's how it goes. That's what I've been talking about. Yeah.
I'm just throwing up a little caution flag there. I think that this team is built for this tournament coming up. I'm going to call it a tournament because that's essentially what it is. They are built for this. They just have to get it done on a game planning and then obviously a playing standpoint. But they will not walk on the field against any of these teams. And even if it ends up being Ohio State down the road, feeling like they can't compete. I mean, Miami has enough talent to be competitive in these games, and they're built for the kind of games that these might be. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later in the show because I think they're at a little bit of a crossroads offensively in terms of what game plan they use for this game. Like, is the freewheeling gimmick taking, game type of game plan that we've seen the last 4 weeks, as fun as it's been and as entertaining and effective as it's been against the level of competition, is that the best strategy for this football game on the road in front of 100,000 fans in a playoff environment and situation? I don't know. I mean, my experience and instincts tell me you better be able to run the football. You better be able to control the clock. You better be able to keep the crowd out of the game. You better not put yourself in 3rd and long situations against the best pass rushing team in the country and set Carson Beck up for failure. So, and if it plays out the way that way, there's going to be a lot of fans unhappy, thinking, oh, geez, they've gone back to being too conservative again. And you do have to be able to score in the 30s at the same time. So this is not an easy challenge, folks, and we'll talk more and more about this as we go through here tonight. But let's go out.
And by the way, Chris Brown is concerned about me because I'm sick. I've been sick for like 5 days, so that's why I'm blowing my nose once in a while or whatever. But yeah, I'm okay, relatively speaking.
Well, we've been infiltrated by the enemy here. Aggie Jim has come back. I think he made an appearance a couple weeks ago and saying this ain't SMU, boys. And
he pronounces that SMU. He doesn't pronounce it SMU. He pronounces that SMU. He thinks it's a word. This ain't SMU, boys.
Jim, I think we'll acknowledge you on that, and that you're right. We nobody expects this to be the same SMU team that beat Miami back in Texas a few weeks back. So, but thank you for the information. Ian Killian says he hopes that Keontae Scott is good to go.
By the way, the CFP put out a Mario Cristobal rule today. They said that you have to report it. You have to give an accurate injury report, which will come out tomorrow from Miami at 6 p.m. So I don't know what accurate means. I don't think Mario knows what accurate injury reports means. I mean, you can make someone questionable, right? But
what are they going to do? Fine them?
I don't know what they'll do. Not let them in the playoffs next year? Let Notre Dame back in this year? I don't know. I don't know what they do. There's nothing about punishment on there. It just said required to give an accurate injury report 3 days before the game and again 90 minutes before the game.
How about the ACC today releasing a football schedule for next year with some teams playing 8 ACC games and some teams playing 9? What is wrong with these people? Like I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how they think they're going to have legitimate standings with uneven levels of participation in the conference. Like, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's go out let's start tonight with the Mikester Kane. Welcome back to CaneSport Live. Mikester, what you got for us this evening?
Hey, Matt, there you are.
What's up, Mikester?
I've been meaning to talk to you, guy. Well, first of all, have you heard about that offensive lineman from Texas A&M? I forgot his name. He ran his mouth off on Twitter about Ruben Bain.
Yeah. We're talking to Bain tomorrow, so I'm sure Ruben will have something to say about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be pissed. Okay.
They've showed it to him. He's seen it a few times.
Oh yeah. Okay. Not only that, but Miami's got a chip on their shoulder. Okay. So I think it's full go. They got to do is score early. They got to score often. They got to run trick plays. You got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Texas A&M in order to beat them. And you got to do it early. Keep the crowd out of the game, get first downs, and get great stops on defense if you can, which I think they can be able to do.
Why isn't Mikester on Good Morning CaneSport? Do you wake up at 5 a.m., Mikester? I think I got my replacement. Yes, you're my replacement. You say the same things I say, so you're my replacement. I don't need to do this anymore. You even look like me. You got my glasses. You got the stone crab hat. You got the stone crab hat.
Well, I'm your long-lost twin there, Matt.
You're ready to go.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Can't say about me.
It's nice of you to ask if I'm feeling better, which Gary hasn't asked once. Gary doesn't care. But no, I'm not feeling better. That's why
I didn't even know you were sick until it came up just now.
You should have asked. You could have asked. Oh man!
Well, you didn't ask, Gary. What's up with that? I mean, are you?
He didn't tell me he was sick. He never said anything.
Hopefully, I feel better than Marcel Reed's going to feel on Saturday. We'll see.
Oh gosh, well, I can't afford to get sick. If I get sick, I'm in big trouble because of my heart. So I got to watch that.
I have a bad heart too. Hey, that's not an excuse. All right,
I've got chronic AFib. I had a PFO closure 2 years ago.
Oh, you're speaking a different language. All I've got is massive PVCs, 42%.
42%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think you still got me. You still win. You win like 21-14 against me.
Okay, call it that. So what are your predictions for the game, guys? Be honest.
Oh boy.
What are your predictions?
You go first, Gary.
Go
I'm
first,
gonna say
Gary.
Miami win. I'm going to say Miami wins a close game. I mean, I expect it to go down into the fourth quarter and
A field goal?
Huh?
A field goal?
I think it could be a field goal game. Yeah, I really do. I think these are two very evenly matched teams, two very good teams, and I think they're going to make plays, and each team's going to have moments, and I'm expecting this game to be decided in the fourth quarter.
As for me, this is true. I was asked my prediction today by somebody who may or may not have the IPF named after her, and so I guess I have to stick with that, because if I change it now, I'm gonna look like an idiot. So I did say I think 31-24 Miami, or 31-28 Miami, something in that area.
I'm going with 35-31 Miami.
35-31. All right.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I would take, not that I ever bet, but I do think it's going to be one of those high scoring games. I really do. I think Miami's offense has come alive enough and Texas A&M's defense isn't that good, and vice versa. As good as Miami's defense has been, I don't think Miami's allowed more than 24 points. How many points did SMU score on us in overtime? 24?
26, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but
so other than that,
I mean,
that's the most points. That's the most points Miami's given up all year, and Texas A&M has scored 31 or more points in every game except for 2. So something's going to give.
I think Bain will get, either Bain or Mesidora will get at least 2 sacks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
Yeah, I think
that will happen.
I
think that kid ran his mouth, and
Miami
I think Bain's going to cause a lot of pain.
I've been talking a lot about Bain, and I know I've been a little edgy, and I don't feel that we've seen the best of Ruben Bain since early in the season.
Haven't.
And I know we haven't. I know we haven't, and I know.
Has anybody noticed he wears a giant brace on his arm and can barely move his arm? Has anyone noticed that? Is that?
Yeah,
am I
noticed that.
Is that invisible to everyone else?
But listen, I mean, Miami football is built on big time players like Ruben Bain showing up in big time games. It's a cliche, but It's not. And Ruben Bain needs to show up on Saturday.
He needs to give it his all on Saturday. He's got to do it now. Now is the time. Don't worry about getting injured. Your chances are you're probably going to be a first round pick, maybe. I mean, he's that good.
He'll help his cause with a big. He'll help his cause with a big game on Saturday, and it's like, so I don't have any problem with anybody poking the bear or whatever. I mean, thank you, Mr. Offensive Lineman. I don't remember your name at Texas A&M. Because Ruben Bain needs to be poked a little bit. I think he has been a little bit on cruise control.
He needs to be poked.
And they need big time Ruben Bain on Saturday. Go ahead.
Can I add something real quick?
Go ahead, Matt.
Because thank you, Mikester. I appreciate you taking over the show. Because here's what I truly believe this game is it's more important that Miami's defensive tackles play well than that Bain and Mesidor show up. And the reason I believe that is I've started to look at some Marcel Reed tape. And when he's had his big runs, he's not running to the sidelines.
Okay? He's running up the middle.
He's running right up the middle.
Yes. Yeah. I've noticed that too.
Yeah. Sorry, Mikester. It's your show. Go ahead.
What's his name? The Scott, right? I can't remember. The D lineman there. The Scott.
Oh, Justin Scott. Yeah.
Justin Scott. He needs to give it his all. Okay. Well, just stay in his lane and give it his all, and keep that quarterback contained.
Well, Marcel, here's the thing with Marcel. Here's the pattern I've seen, and I'm sure Heatherman's seen it too.
Yeah.
When he rolls right, he's looking to pass.
Correct.
His designed runs, and when he's pressured, he's looking up the middle. Because he's not a guy who's really trying to run a lot, except on the clear design runs or the RPOs where the linebacker is taking the back. What he's always trying to do first is pass. He wants to be a pass. Like in his mind, he thinks he's a pass first quarterback. And in a game like this, you have to sort of get into the guy's mind, right? Because he doesn't really do a good job of going to his second and third reads. So if Heatherman can figure out some sort of pattern to their first reads, and a lot of times those are these It's not that different than Shannon Dawson. They love to throw these quick hitters to the perimeter. They love those passes, okay?
Checkdowns.
So, yeah, correct. So if he can crowd the line, maybe drop some linemen or linebackers into those gaps where the Casey
come up like this and then drop back.
Yeah, correct. Bracket Concepcion. They should be mapping every route Concepcion's run all season and bracketing those routes on their. They may have to adjust their zone a little bit, but that's the guy that he likes to go to on the quick hitters.
Yeah, that's his go-to, man. Is Concepcion. Yep.
Yeah, Concepcion. Yeah. So yeah, they have to gap integrity in the middle is massively important. Massively important.
Exactly.
I can't even stress that enough. Nobody's even talking about that. Everyone's talking about Bain and Messidor and sacks. There's nothing more important than the defensive tackles on Miami, on the entire defense to me. After watching,
got a good point. You've got a good point, Matt. Yeah, good point. Very good point.
Thank you, Meister.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Scott, is Keontae Scott going to be do you guys think Keontae Scott's going to be full go on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, we need him. We got to have him. Got to have him out there.
Yeah.
And he's got to give it his all.
Here's the thing. Would you rather have 80% Keontae Scott or 100% Fitzgerald?
100% whomever instead of 80% Keontae Scott.
I don't know. You don't play in a month and a half. You've been rehabbing. I don't know. You throw the guy out there. I guess we'll see. We'll have to see. He's moving around okay.
100%. Then yeah, we got to get him out there, obviously. But if he's if he's 80%.
He might be on a rep count. I mean, we'll see. I'm not like Gary, like, oh yeah, he's going to be 100% just like normal. Like that's just not how it works. Coming off of,
I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say anything of the sort.
Well, it depends. It depends on how fast he heals. Depends.
I didn't put a percentage on it. I just said he's probably gonna play. I didn't say how many reps he's going to play.
I didn't say he's probably going to play. You would make it sound like he's definitely playing. Is what it made you sound.
I said I think he's going to play.
Well, it depends on how fast his body can heal, how fast his foot can heal.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been cleared for contact, is my understanding. So, I mean, obviously, he's still not quite there. Now, could he be cleared by Saturday? Yes, but again, my point is he 100% because he gets cleared for contact? It doesn't mean you're back to where you were before the injury. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't know.
Like you're going from here to here, and you're jumping that gap, and you can't bridge the gap by Saturday. It's too late. See,
they're getting
that's
for any of the guys that are having turf toe issues and stuff. They make them special shoes and they try to make it
weird.
work.
I know there's another guy with turf toe there's another guy with turf toe working through it. Like I don't understand how these turf toes are like popping up multiple. It's weird.
What is a turf toe? I don't know. It's such a loosely used word. I don't even know what the hell a damn turf toe is. Is it a sprain toe? Is it?
I believe it's a sprain. Yeah, very painful.
Yeah.
Though.
It is. Yeah. It's very painful, is what I heard.
Yeah, it is. All right, Mike. Thank you for getting us started, man. We'll see you next time. Okay. Sunday night. Sunday night we'll be back. We're gonna do a special Sunday night. Yeah, we'll do a special Sunday night this week after the game. Okay.
All right, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Sunday night. We'll see you then.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Our super intern Noah is in the house tonight, sucking up to Matt. What else is new? Everyone sucks up to Matt. Ian Killian's funny. Ian Killian's telling me, watch out for the horse poop on the sideline. I tell you, I can't wait to get over there and see if they pull that crap again. Pardon the pun. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, the last time we went to Texas A&M, they paraded about 30 horses on the Miami sideline about an hour before the game, and they were pooping up a storm, and there was all kinds of horse crap all over the Miami sideline with all these cadets and I guess and whatever pretending that they were scooping it. Well, they weren't. Okay, they were scooping some of it and they were smushing some of it into the sideline over there, so it would be a nice smelly distraction for the Hurricanes during the game. I think Miami lost a close game in that one too, but it will be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, one guy that's not worried about Ruben Bain or Mesidor or the defensive tackles is our man Morales, 3255, because he's training right now. He's on a damn treadmill getting ready for that game Saturday. And if they need him in College Station, he's going to make sure that he's in great physical condition to jump in there and help the Canes. Morales, welcome to CaneSport Live. What do you got for us tonight?
Listen, thank you guys for having me. First of all, I just want to say it's very important for Miami to methodically work their way down the field on their first possession, eat up clock, score, and get ahead because you don't want to fall behind and be forced to throw the ball. I think this is going to be a game like the Notre Dame game where, yeah, you're going to pass, but I think you have to pound the rock. I know that's not popular. Everyone wants to talk about what happened the last 4 games, but that's against lesser opponents where you're able to throw the ball around at will and trick plays and do basically anything you want. You're going to play a tough team on the road, 100,000 people there. You got to get up early and you got to eat up clock. This can't be a game of, with a lot of possessions. I think if the game goes and less possessions, it's better for Miami. Because if you're having a shootout, I don't think that's us this year. Last year, yeah, we win those games. But this year, I think you need and think about this way. We haven't seen a game this year where Carson Beck led us down the field while we were behind to go ahead. He had a chance at Louisville through the interception. He had a chance at SMU overtime through the interception. He hasn't, he hasn't done it this
when
year.
they're out ahead. You're right.
They have to get ahead.
All right, can I share some thoughts here?
Go ahead.
Are you from New York?
Yes.
I can tell. Look, I'm never going to disagree with you, not because you're from New York, but because you give me those Soprano vibes. And I don't know what the hell you did with Morales 32-54. If you put him under the turf in the Meadowlands, I don't know what you did to him, okay? But I will never disagree with this dude because he scares me. He's a New Yorker. I know what New Yorkers do because I'm from New York. I don't mess with New Yorkers. Period.
Listen, what do you guys think about that?
I agree with you, Morales,
100%.
I usually would not agree with you that they should lessen their possessions, but that was based on the theory you're better than the team you're against. Because when you're better than the team you're against, clearly better, the more plays you play, the more chances you have to dominate, right? And if you have a few bad plays and you shorten the game, now you're in a dogfight at the end. A game like this, I actually agree with you, right? Texas A&M's top 10 in time of possession. Miami's right there in time of possession. These are two teams that like to control the ball, control the clock. Miami's defense isn't deep. I know fans want to say, Popo Aguirre, Chase Smith, Lightfoot, and Blunt, and and no big deal. But the truth is, those defensive tackle rotations still, when you're against a big, physical, really good offensive line, Armando Blunt at tackle is undersized, okay? Justin Scott, as good as he's looked strength-wise, he's not strong at the point of attack still to where they want him to be, right? That's why he didn't play last year. He's been much better this year, but he's still not quite there at that dominant level, right? David Blade is going to be fine, and so is Ahmad Moten, but you really got two physical defensive tackles against a physical offensive line. That's it, right? So you do want to shorten the game. I 100% agree with you. You do not want that Texas A&M offense to be able to run 70 or more plays in this game, 80 or more plays in this game. You cannot do that. That will be a disaster. Miami's got to control the clock. But with that said, I hate it when they play complementary offense, right? Because to me, complementary offense, when Mario talks about that, it just means being conservative. And again, you have to attack a very average to not even good average, bad average Texas A&M defense. Like you can't just give away possessions. You can't have a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4 on the same drive. And what are the odds you're going to convert all three of those against the number 1 third down defense in the country, right? You cannot play that kind of football. So while I do agree with you,
I want to ask you a question.
To me or Soprano?
You.
What?
Yeah. So,
hey Morales, can you go over to Gary's house right now? Can you get your people over there and get them to stop interrupting me?
I'm all over the place on this subject because I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I also understand that the formula to win a game like this is not necessarily be conservative, but to be controlled and be strategically aggressive. And it's hard for me to say that because I thought they were way too conservative the first half of the season and way too tight. And it wasn't until they loosened up and opened up that they really looked good here in the second half of the season. But they didn't do it playing at Texas A&M in a college football playoff game, on the road. And I think there's a difference. And I think what Morales is saying is legit. I think this is the dilemma for Mario Cristobal and Shannon Dawson. A lot of pressure on those guys this week. There just is. I mean, there's door number 1 and door number 2, and if you want to give it a little bit benefit of the doubt, door number 3 to go through here with your offensive game plan, and they got to pick the right one. And if they don't, it's going to be very hard to win the football game. So I think it's a legit concern. I think if you're able to pound the rock in this game, and there's evidence that you should be able to. I mean, Texas had Matt, over 200 yards rushing. If you're able to pound the rock in this football game, I think you have to take that opportunity and keep yourself in manageable down and distance situations. You don't want too many of them. You don't want to always be in third down, but you don't want to be in third and 10.
You cannot
either.
be in those situations against this team. You can't.
100%.
And how come?
And guess what? That's been Miami's strength all year is third down offense. They love third downs.
But better 3rd and 3 than 3rd and 10, or obvious. That's obvious.
It sounds like Beck.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Morales.
think he did a good job this year. But how comfortable are we relying on him to win a game, like on that final possession, when he hasn't done it for us?
We haven't seen it. Correct. Well, Noah here is saying Beck shows up, the sky's the limit. You got to agree with that.
Absolutely.
But you're right. We haven't seen him bring a team back from down 7, down 10, down 14 to win. We haven't seen that the entire year, which is kind of like a good thing. But other than the 2 losses, but it's still an unknown, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think the defense is going to show up for Miami. I really do.
It has all year.
Texas A&M has a good offense. They have great receivers, but I don't know, and I don't even think it should be multiple blitz. I think let the 4 guys rush and see if you can get pressure that way, and have the guys, keep the linebackers back, keep the DBs back, and you know what? Make this guy work his way down the field, because he's bound to make a mistake, because the last few games he's thrown a lot of picks.
Yeah, I was
Force
watching
him to beat you.
I was watching some of the Auburn Texas A&M film, because Auburn's the one team that really held down Marcel Reed's run game. And when you hold down Reed as a runner, it's a whole different game. I mean, they really lose that entire dimension to their offense, because he's their basically their top running back, right? And the way they did it was multiple. It wasn't like they just did one thing that worked. They were sending blitzes. They were sending 6 after him. Twice they got sacks sending 6, and then I saw another play where they got a sack just rushing 4. You can do it either way, but the key is to rush him again without the twists, without the stunts. Like, you just have to go straight up the field and beat your man. Like, that's it. You cannot lose gap integrity. And with the top 4 linemen on Miami's defense, I think they have a chance to just rush 4, like you said, but they will need to mix it up. I mean, you have to, because Marcel Reed does make mistakes. He does tend to try to extend plays sometimes when he shouldn't. He does tend to hold the ball too long when he could get rid of it earlier, because he trusts a lot in his ability to escape pressure, right? And Miami has to take advantage of that. They have to really get inside his head and sort of figure out, consult with an astrologer. I don't care what they do, but figure out what he's thinking and how he wants to attack Miami. Because once you know how they want to attack Miami, now you're playing that chess game, which I say Heatherman just murders people, doesn't play chess, but you're playing that game where you really are sort of checkmating them with everything they're trying to do. But they have to understand how Texas A&M is going to attack them first. You really have to do that. And I think if they don't do that, then it's a massive failure on the coaching staff. If they come out and they're unprepared for the Texas A&M attack, that's just a disaster.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right,
All right,
Morales,
Morales.
3255.
All right.
Keep riding that treadmill, man. We might need you on Saturday.
Yeah, if you need me, we're
we
gonna be in
might
bad shape.
we might need you. All right, man. Thanks for
All
becoming
right,
on the
take
show.
care.
I like
All
that
right,
guy.
let's,
How come these guys are never on the calls with me? These are the two best callers. Not two the best, but they're really good. Those were
I'm
nice
mixing
guys.
it up. We're mixing it up tonight.
I miss
Sebastian's
the
got his,
usual. I miss Sebastian, of
got
course.
his sign though, man. Sebastian's he's got his sign again tonight.
You better make that. Put him in the main picture by himself. I can't even read it.
Yeah, it's a little small. Let's
Have fun.
Let's
composure.
let's go big screen here with Sebastian for a minute.
The middle eight. Oh, he's pulling out the middle eight.
Pull it out in the fourth quarter, and then on to the next game.
When did this middle eight become a thing? Because this is the first year I've heard about it. Has this always been a thing, and I'm just a horrible reporter? I didn't hear about the middle eight constantly.
It coaches like it's an important part of the game. You know,
I know, but I never had heard it referred to as the middle eight until I swear this year. I had never heard that term in my whole life. Is that some new Generation Z thing? I don't understand.
Am I on? I can tell you about the middle eight.
No, I know what the middle eight is. I just don't know when it started.
I remember when Butch Davis was the coach, and he just had a certain kind of philosophy that he believed in. He said, you never want to give up a special teams touchdown because chances are you're probably going to lose that game. He says the way you close out the first half and the way you play in the beginning of the second half is crucial.
Yeah, that's true.
And so if you're able to, go into halftime, whether it's kick a field goal or score a touchdown, it just kind of gives you a little bit of juice and some confidence. And then if you go out in the second half and you're able to put points on the board, that middle eight it sometimes can just settle your team.
Well, can I ask you a question, Sebastian?
Yeah.
To win the middle eight, do you have to win the coin toss?
You don't.
You can play good defense on the first drive of the third quarter, and that counts. You're good with that.
Right. Exactly.
You got to stop at the end of the first half. You got to stop at the beginning of the third quarter. That counts. You don't need to score.
Yeah, you don't need to score. What you're doing is you're just setting your team up to have some sort of momentum. And if you're able to get some momentum before the first half,
my saying is win the middle 60. That's my thing.
I touche. I can get that. But so you see what I said? I said have fun. I like the way Mario came across in his press conference. Like I think Gary said that on Good Morning CaneSport, that he didn't seem like kind of stressed and just irate, because there's going to be enough juice when they get to Texas A&M. I mean, Wesley Bissain talked about what it was like his freshman year when he got there. And I think that experience really is going to help that team because they're going back to a place that they've been there before. And it's, we got a lot of young talent on the team. And so I want those guys to get out there and have fun. I mean, you're in the college football playoffs. There's so many teams that want to be where you're at, and you need to be able to walk away with that, with some good experience from reaching this particular milestone. So have fun.
To have fun, you got to play well and you got to win.
Yeah, you got to play well.
I got to tell you, Sebastian, I'm getting some Ross Perot vibes from you, man. You're putting too much. You're putting too much on the dartboard there.
Okay. Well, the second thing I have is just poise and composure. This team doesn't need our help to beat us. We don't need no pre-snap penalties. We don't need those. What I'm looking for is those unsportsmanlike personal fouls, that jawing, that back and forth, getting tossed out the game, just silly penalties. This team, we don't need to give this team anything, okay? I said win the middle eight. I say pull it out in the fourth quarter. If this game is in the fourth quarter, I think the pressure really goes on Texas A&M.
By the way, I love how you have to look at it to remember what you wrote down. I love that. That's great. Great. Try to don't look now. Try to guess what's your last one without looking. What's the last one?
The last one is on to the next game.
Let's go.
And on to the next game.
That's the best one right there.
So I got a couple questions for you guys. I know I joined on a little bit late. Either one of you guys can take it. What do you think? What do you think about chances? I mean, what do you think of this matchup? I mean, can we go in College Station and come out with a W?
I love the matchup. I think it's a very good matchup. I think it's two good teams, but you're supposed to play good teams in the playoff. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be an easy game, and you got to go on the road to. But I mean, I think Miami's built for this. They can run the ball. They've shown that they can throw the ball, and the defense has been very consistent all year long. And I think they're built for this moment. And I like the fact that they're trying not to let it get too big. And that's important. You don't want them to go up there and choke and be nervous and loose, let it rip and play well, man. But I like the matchup. I'm not bothered at all by the matchup. But, I think the receivers are good, but we got good DBs this year that can cover those guys. And, I think they've shown they can keep the quarterback from running all over the place. The 4 or 5 times they've been faced with that challenge this year, that negates the strength of Texas A&M if that holds up. I think that the Miami run game can assert itself in this game, and then that's a big deal. So, yeah, no, I love the matchup.
I think if we can run – go ahead, Garrett.
I was going to add real quick. This is a game which I think most people agree is two pretty evenly matched teams. Neutral field is probably about an even line, maybe Miami favored by a point or two, which means one thing. It really comes down to coaching. And to me, if you're going to pick this game as a fan – you have to say, well, I think this coaching staff's better, or I think that coaching staff's better. And, Gary's talking about personnel this, personnel that. They both have matchups that are advantageous on both sides of the ball against each other. It's not like one team has this massive advantage. But, this has to be that game that Mario Cristobal doesn't make a dumb mistake with the clock and timeouts. It has to be a game where Shannon Dawson doesn't revert to the first 8 games that we've seen. This has to be a game where Corey Heatherman makes sure that he doesn't put too much in for his players so they can still play fast and free and loose, even though this is a very complex offense. If Miami can do all that, then they're going to win. And if not, they're going to lose. Like, it comes down to the coaching, which is really, to me, an intangible. Like, I can't predict. Like, I'm making a prediction Miami's going to win. But the truth is, I'm just putting my blind faith in Mario and his staff because I know them a lot better than Mike Elko and his staff. And I know that they put the work in and the players understand the system and they should be put in position to make the right plays at the right times. But if Miami loses this game, I'm not going to blame the players. I'll be blaming the coaches.
That's a very good point, Matt. I think this is a great game for our coordinators because think about the level of coaching they have to do at this particular level. They're in a college football playoff. And if you're able to coach your side of the ball up and get them to execute at a high level, this is massive. I mean, recruits all over are going to see this. I mean, we're in prime time. We're the best game in town on that particular day. And there's some 9th graders, some 10th graders, some 11th graders that's saying, you know what? I want that logo on the side of my helmet. I think I'm going to go to Miami because these guys can do it. And so that's what I'm really looking for. Yeah, it's an evenly matched team. I just want us to be able to show that we belong on the field. And
they show that.
And if we're able to do that, it's a coin flip. I think there's probably going to be 3 or 4 games, that's 3 or 4 plays that's going to determine the game. I really do believe that.
Fair.
I think that's how close it is. A blocked punt, a missed field goal, a costly turnover, a penalty at the wrong time. It could just kind of just turn on the dime. I was really amped up and encouraged when I heard that Keontae Scott is looking like he's going to play. I mean, he's practicing. I mean, I don't know how much we need to read in on that, but I mean, if I get an 80% Keontae Scott, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Matt's not taking an 80% Keontae Scott.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
You did say that.
I said, would you? I was asking a question. I said, would you take an 80% or 100% Fitzgerald? To me, if Keontae's on a rep count, I'm playing him on every 3rd down and more than 4 yards. Like if it's 3rd and 4 or more, I'm playing him. Like that's what he's playing. I don't need him banged up in the run game. That's a physical game. Like if he is legit on a rep count, I hope that they do that and don't just like play him the whole first quarter to get off to a fast start or or I don't know, you got to save him for the fourth quarter, obviously, too. Like, it's going to be difficult. This is typically what happens off an injury. A guy's on a rep count for his first game back. Now, I don't know in the playoffs if they can not have that happen. Maybe that'll be the case. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting when that first injury report comes out. If he's listed as questionable or not even on the report, or Panhandle Kane will take 80% Keontae Scott crabbing. I'm not taking an 80% person crabbing, okay? There's no way. They fall in the water, I am not dragging them back to shore. It ain't happening, all right?
Matt, I say,
to shore.
Matt, I'll take
80% of the way to shore. You're not getting on the crab boat.
Yeah. The reason why I say I'll take an 80% Keontae Scott is because, even though Fitzgerald was able to play underneath the lights in Florida State and played a hell of a game, this is a big game. This is a big game. And so just having a little bit of experience out there, another calming voice, I think it'll be great. My last thought of what I want to find out from you guys is, I see Nikar is hitting the portal. Do we
again?
Yeah,
he's got to find somebody that'll take him.
He's trying to set the record for most portal entrances and returns, I guess. I don't know.
So the question that I have is, I think we can absorb his attrition, his loss. I wish it would have worked out for him, because I hate seeing us recruit these high caliber players from Georgia and they don't play out. Like Norton.
It's different. You're still living in the 2022s, man. Get with the 2025s, man, because that's not how it goes anymore, okay? Recruits are going where the money is. Recruits are going where they'll get the next contract. If Miami isn't going to pay Nikar to come back, why would he come back, right? They don't need him. He's not going to play. Why would you spend your money there? It doesn't make any sense. Plus, he's not going to play. So
no, they just signed 4 good freshmen.
It's not about where he's from. It's about what have you done for me? What can you do for me? Not where are you from? Like, that's just not the way. That's not the way it's going to go.
So, do you guys foresee any other attrition that's going to impact this game? I know we lost Ray.
No, this game,
no, nothing that'll impact.
When the season's over, you're going to see a bunch of guys heading to the portal. I guarantee you. The portal situation is crazy because it's 2 weeks starting January 2nd, unless you're in the playoffs, then you get an extra few days, and that's it. Like, that's it, and you have to be enrolled by whatever time, whatever the enrollment date is in January for your school, or you can't come in until the summer. You can't be in spring practice.
Right.
So and it's insane what they're doing. There's going to be a mad rush to the portal, a mad rush to find a home, a mad rush to enroll at your new school. It's going to be totally stupid.
Yeah.
This NCAA
there's
a bunch of morons.
They're a bunch of morons. They really are. You know what's going on right now while this team and every other team is trying to get ready for the playoffs? All the players around the country are negotiating their NIL deals for next year.
Yeah.
How do you?
It's almost is a detriment to be in the playoffs. If you're trying to build for the future, being in the playoffs is a disaster because you're so focused time wise on your opponent. And this year, teams that are not in the playoffs right now are going crazy, reaching out to every contact they have. They're doing 100% portal 100% of the time. And we're preparing for the biggest game in 23 years.
That's why I want you guys to have fun. This is my last comment. This is for Gary. Gary, what I want to know is, for a playoff game like this, are you going to allow your young staffers to make it out to College Station? Dude, is this like their Super Bowl for a hard year worth of work? Are they going to get a chance to experience
Super Bowl? The Super Bowl's if we get to the end.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. At least let Matt go. Matt should be able to go on this trip.
I can go to any game I want, but my kids are actually coming home, so I'm unfortunately not going. But they're here for a week. My kids are, they don't come home that often. So, but I will say that, if they do go to the national title game, of course I'll be there. I was at the last national title game that they won, and Gary said he'll take us all out to Chick-fil-A for dinner if they make it to that national title game that the night before the game. So
that's absolutely true.
Very excited. Very excited.
That's good. Well, that's great. Well, I hope we experience that.
All right, Sebastian. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
And you told us that because you thought the game was on a Monday, and you knew that Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. But are they open on Sundays now? I don't know. They might be. I can't remember.
So J.R. Barr says there's nothing wrong with gimmicks. He's right. There's nothing wrong with gimmicks. They're entertaining as hell. But after 4 weeks of running a lot of gimmicks,
why Why is just Ghislaine? How do I say her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. Why is her username on our comments? I've got 40 minutes left of internet access, and whoever it is posted her pictures, and they're like, "What is wrong with these people? I don't understand it."
I'm looking for it.
It's the bottom. It's the second from the bottom. But there's she's, she. It's not really her, obviously. I've been posting constantly.
Internet access. That's awesome. That's awesome.
She's asking about JoJo, how JoJo Trader's doing. Thoughts on JoJo Trader. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, getting back to business here. So J.R. Barr says nothing wrong with gimmicks. He's right, but you have to understand something. In my opinion, we've had 4 weeks of a lot of gimmicks. Okay, Texas A&M is looking for gimmicks on Saturday. Probably going to have to win this game with solid fundamental execution and not gimmicks. Most likely. I mean, they're going to be looking.
The gimmicks are the offense, right? Because Malachi Toney is not a gimmick. When he passes, it's not a gimmick. When he's in the what do they call it? The Mally Cat. That's not a gimmick. Like, that's their offense. That's legit their offense. So
it's become their offense. Yeah,
I would argue that's not a gimmick, honestly.
Emilio Gustavo wants our thoughts on the Miami O-line.
And by the way, there is a Lamar Thomas show tomorrow, and
there's not a Lamar Thomas show tomorrow. No.
You told me yesterday there was. All right, my bad.
No, there is not. We have conflicts.
I make clear it's not my fault. It's that guy's fault.
Yeah, no Lamar show tomorrow. But Emilio Gustavo is asking thoughts on Miami O-line, and it's a good subject, Matt. I would say underachievement. I mean, we were looking at the running totals today in the running game, and they averaged 5.5 yards to carry last year, 4.2 this year. That's a pretty sizable drop in production, which is shocking to me because going into the season, the coaches felt like they could build the offense around the running game and the offensive line. That was obvious. And you're looking at the O-line and the running backs going into the year, and you're saying, man, that's a pretty solid 2 position groups there. But for some reason, Matt, the offensive running game has not clicked.
It's one of the great mysteries of life.
It is.
Why does the earth go around the sun and the sun doesn't go around the earth? We don't know. We don't know these things. It's impossible to know. But no, the offensive line, as it turns out, is a fantastic pass protecting line and not real good at run blocking. And when they do create holes in the run game, Mark Fletcher and Marty Brown have been eating too many freaking hamburgers and they don't fit through the damn holes. But when Gerard Pringle's out there on his little salad, goes to Sweet Greens every day, he squeezes right through that hole, no problem.
But what were we talking about today with Gerard Pringle?
6.2 yards a carry. Well, let me explain it. Okay, he's averaging 6.2 yards a carry, best on the team, Pringle. The last 4 games, everyone's like, oh my God, the run game's resurrected. I did the numbers, and I told guys why I was all excited now, okay? Don't get so excited.
The numbers are the numbers.
Yeah, so the average yards per carry over the last 4 games, and this is shocking to me, and maybe my math's wrong, 4.0 yards a carry, okay? And it was higher than that the first 8 games. So I don't know. I don't understand it. I know they had one bad run game in there. Who did they run badly against? Was it Virginia Tech? They had one really bad running game out of the last 4, which I guess skewed it a bit. But, there's no doubting. When you see Gerard Pringle burst into the second level, like, that's not something Mark Fletcher does. That's not something Marty Brown does, and it's certainly not something we saw from Jordan Lyle all year long. So that's why it was hard for me in the beginning of the show to say I don't think Gerard Pringle's going to play much, And when he's in the game, he's just going to get a carry. He's not going to be pass protecting because he's not good at pass protection yet. And Mark Fletcher happens to be very good at pass protection. So, with that said, it can all of a sudden Miami be a great running team against Texas A&M? No, they can't. Because I'm a firm believer that what you've shown over 12 games is probably what you're going to see in game 13. So if Miami goes into this game thinking they could just run up the middle, pass the ball, maybe, with Mark Fletcher in the game, I don't think they're going to try to run as much to the edges. And I think that probably Shannon Dawson's outthought himself already and thinks, A&M's going to be thinking we're going to run to the edges now because look what we've been doing with Pringle and end arounds to Toney and da-da-da-da. My guess is they're going to run a lot of balls up the middle. It's unfortunate. I honestly think that's what they're going to do. I hope they don't, but I think Fletcher up the middle, because he's not a guy with the speed to get to the outside. He's just not. And the ends are really fast. And the best way to negate a fast end is to run right freaking at him. So it's going to be very disappointing to me if they're running up the middle a lot. The best way to attack Howell, who loves to just take a wide stance and rush straight up the field and then either bend inside or go around the tackle, depending which way the leverage is. The best way to slow him down is to run in that gap from when he takes the wide stance and starts just bursting in, go right in that gap. And that's what slows him down. I've seen other teams do it on tape. So if we're running up the middle, it's just stupid.
Chris Brown wants to know how practice looked today. Matt, you were out there for a little bit. How did it look?
I have never seen a team stretch like this. They stretched every ligament. They stretched. I think at one point they were stretching their brains. Does this stretch your brain? I think this stretches your brain, right? So they have a brain expansion in practice. No, we watched. I'm not going to lie. We watched about 8 minutes of them stretching, which was super exciting. And about 5 minutes of them doing indie period, which is just, ball security, throwing passes with nobody in coverage. We saw Mario Cristobal looking very serious.
Mario
I've
knows
never
what
actually
he's
seen
doing.
him not look serious. He was on one of the best moments. And I've known Mario forever, and he's not. He's a fun but very serious guy. And there was a show. I can't remember what show you went on. It might have been on the ACC network. And they were asking him like what he does for fun or something, like some stupid question. And he's like, I'm just not a fun guy. He doesn't care. He's not even going to pretend. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, for fun. I go to the movies. I go swimming. I take my kids out to Chuck E. Cheese. No. He's just like, I'm not fun. He's all about the work.
All right, let me bring Sergio and the kids on real quick here. Because I'm sure it's getting close to bedtime for these guys. What's up, guys? How you been? Welcome back to CaneSport Live.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you guys think? Kane's going to win Saturday?
Yes. 50-50.
50-50? Is that your score prediction? Or is that the
Thanks
chance?
for the information, guys.
The game ends with a
What's up,
50-50 score. You heard it here first.
What's up,
Yeah,
Sergio? What you got for us?
They were rushing to get their homework done, so they're gonna get on the show, and they're here now. But man, I'll tell you what, we're talking about next year. I don't want to hear any more talk about next year. This is the year.
Mario talking about next year.
Mario has the pieces in place now. We got the bigs on the offensive line. We got weapons on the offense. We got a quarterback who's, I want to say, capable, but that's almost like an average. He's fully he can be the man, so this game is interesting to me because I think our defense is going to handle them, and I think it's up to Shannon Dawson to be able to plan how he's going to. We have too many tools on offense. We've got too many weapons. We got Tony, who they're going to double team. We got a tight end who knows what we can do with. We got some wide receivers. We got running backs, and we got bigs. So I'm not sure. I feel like we're going to win this one. I feel like the fans think is like the game is too big for the fans, that we're so not used to it. I think the players are fine. I think the coaches are fine, but the fans are like, whoa, what's going to happen here? Maybe the next game against Ohio State, that'll be a bigger game. And but I think we're gonna take them. I think we're gonna win this game.
All right, quick question, and this is for your children. Okay, you hear me, kids? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want Miami to be good next year? Raise your hand if you do. Oh, they care about next year. Sergio, do you take it back now?
Fine, I take it back. I take it back. They didn't even hear me. They didn't even hear me. So yeah, but it's like, I'm not even going to be able to watch the game. I can't believe it's that new. I can't believe we even have a game. The committee made such a fool and mockery of this whole thing, the way they handled it. They just looked ridiculous. And then we get.
I honestly, I think they were trying to keep Miami out, honestly. And when the ACC had no team in, I feel that they felt like they didn't have a choice. Because at the end of the day, they're athletic directors, right? They know everybody who's anybody. And Gary was right. He said that would happen, by the way. So credit to Gary, because he literally, and he's never been right before. So this is a first. But he did say that if Duke wins, there's no way they will not put an ACC team in the playoffs. And you can tell from everything they did up to that point, up until Duke won, that they were trying to keep Miami out, right? Alabama would have dropped one spot clearly after getting killed. They would have kept Notre Dame where they were, and they would have had the perfect argument. And it's why they moved Notre Dame up a spot when they didn't have to after was it? Oh, no. What did they do? They did something weird to keep Alabama and Notre Dame. They flip-flopped somebody. Who'd they flip-flop, Gary?
They moved Alabama up a spot the week before.
Right. After Notre Dame had a massive win and Alabama barely survived Auburn, they moved Alabama up to keep a gap between Notre Dame and Miami just in case BYU lost. Everyone knew it was going to happen.
5 spots.
They were anticipating BYU losing, and they didn't want to have to put Miami and Notre Dame next to each other and explain it. They were setting it up to keep Miami out, and then Duke and Manny Diaz gave the greatest Christmas gift of all time.
The fix was in, and I tell you what, I think Morales had something to do with it. He put down the gabagool, got on the treadmill, and said, "We're in."
Dude, the way that guy talked, I actually want to meet that guy because I feel like he has connections that can really help me progress in my career. I really do. He can knock out a lot of people ahead of me on the food chain in the sports reporting network.
Here's another exciting point I think that I like that's appealing to me is, okay, we play an SEC team first of all, the other team that beat Notre Dame. Let's say we wipe the floor with them, right? Then we go to Ohio State, who everyone's going to be excited for, right? To see that matchup. Then we take care of them. Then we get a chance at Georgia, and that's where Beck gets to lick his chops a little bit.
How great with
and
that?
Then in the finals, if we cheer for Oregon, then we can get a Miami-Oregon kind of like,
that'd be awesome.
The Duck Ibis matchup, and kind of put the college football world on notice. But other than that, I mean, that's about it. Enjoy the game. Thanks for everything you guys do, and go Canes.
All right, Sergio. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Wait.
Have a good sleep tonight. Bye. Love those kids. They're so mellow. They're
great.
Hang out.
They're great. And they like being on the show.
Speaking of sleep, I think it's time for us to let you go to sleep. You try to get healthy for the weekend. Give us your parting thoughts.
So I don't know if you noticed this. I'm super interested. Like, I know it's playoff week, but it's also like transfer portal is so important, right? Because my thing is next year. I'm all about next year. Who cares about this year? No, I'm just kidding. But there was a report today that Miami's one of the earliest schools to watch for DJ Lagway, along with Baylor, LSU, and Louisville. What I find really intriguing about this, and I just want to bring this up real quick, I think Miami should bring in DJ Lagway, but not as the starter next year. I think they should redshirt him because I've watched his film. He has insane potential in the right system. All that's killing him is his damn mistakes. His arm is sick. He actually can run the ball really well. They do not use him well enough as a runner. And he can be accurate. Like, he throws some passes that are just unbelievable. He throws with touch. He throws a 100-mile-an-hour fastball if he wants to. I take him every day of the week, but I take a guy who's going to start. I explain it to him. I give him the damn money, and I explain the situation, and then we go get a different quarterback as a starter next year. And then Lagway's ready the year after that and the year after that. He'll be in the system. He'll learn the system. Like, to me, if you get Lagway and somebody like Levitt,
I don't think that should be his plan.
I mean, that would be amazing, though. That's a home run because Lagway clearly is not ready to be a starter in college football next year. I don't think, based on what we saw, this year, he just isn't. And if they can explain that to him, great. But I wouldn't take him as a starter next year. I think that would be a disastrous take.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he's the quarterback they take.
No, but I would take him and groom him to be the next great quarterback and explain to him why.
Yeah, but you're already doing that with Luke Nichols.
It's to his benefit to take that redshirt year for what we saw this year. He should want to.
But you're already grooming Luke Nichols and Darian Coleman. So
no, I understand, but so they compete. Why can't people compete anymore?
Oh, I have no problem with them competing.
And if anything, that'll make those guys stay. Because if you keep bringing in a Carson Beck and a Cam Ward and a Levitt every damn year, what quarterback's going to come here as a recruit? At some point,
what do you think happens? Does Emory stay? What do you think? Emery's
I don't think Emory. Emory. Okay, let me take it back. Emory will stay if he doesn't get a better NIL deal elsewhere. I know fans think he's not making money. He's making money at Miami, and
they're paying him.
And
I bet
if no other school will match that money and give him an opportunity as a almost clear-cut starter, he'll stay and battle it out. I mean, from everything I heard, he actually had a really, really good fall camp. was right there with Carson back, honestly. Like, he's not – fans think he's as bad as they saw in the bowl game. He's a good quarterback, okay? He is. Like, I know fans don't believe it, and they make fun of Gary when Gary says it all the time, but it is the truth. He's a good quarterback. Is he a great quarterback?
No.
Not right now from anything I've seen, and we need a great quarterback. So, you got to bring somebody in.
But he's way better than people think he is.
Unless you fail. If you fail and don't get the top 2 or 3 QBs, that's when you have to have a competition. Then you maybe have to bring in Lagway and have him compete with Emery and whatever else if Emery's still here. That's the other problem with the portal, right? Guys are going to be gone and leaving while you're searching for their position. And if you don't hit the guys you want, you could be in trouble.
Yeah. All right, Matt.
I like Carolina Kane. Dumbest idea I ever had. Taking DJ Lagway and redshirting him. Dumbest idea ever. All right. Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye. We'll see you on the show on Sunday. All right. Let me find the voice of the fan here. Bruce Warner.
I put that on there.
Keeps trying to call himself the truth teller, but
I don't call myself that. People call me that.
He's the voice of the fan.
All right, whatever.
Anyway, whatever. All right, Bruce, give us some opening thoughts here on as Miami gets ready to go to Texas A&M.
Well, I don't remember if I said it here last week. I may have. But this business about the offensive lineman calling out Bain reminds me, and I know you were there, you were in the Cotton Bowl in 91 when Stan Thomas opened his big mouth and said that Russell Maryland didn't deserve the Outland Trophy. And that fired up not that because they were fired up for other stuff. They had a fight. They had a fight amongst themselves like the day before. It was so bad. But this is what that reminds me of. And I have a feeling that whatever candle needs to be lit under Ruben's behind, it's lit. And I think, and if
I
you
hope
remember,
so.
Gary, if that whole thing with Russell affected the whole team, they were all pissed off the whole week they were there. So I hope that happens again. I hope Bain, I'd like to see him come in the inside and play a little D tackle to screw up whatever schemes they're planning for him. Just change it up a little bit. I'd like to see that. What's the weather supposed to be like? Nice, I hear?
I think nice, yeah.
Yeah. You talk about Keontae Scott. You mentioned him. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play maybe half the game on and off spot. But the one thing he's very good at, which is what we miss the last few games, he's incredible as a blitzer. Coming from the safety position or in the middle of the field. And I wouldn't be shocked if they use him as some sort of a spy on Reed because they don't want him to get out and make plays with his feet. They'd love to contain him in the pocket and have to feel that pass rush every single time. So I think Keontae is going to be up and down the field, not just laying back as a safety. That's what I think is going to happen. But you know what? And everybody's talking about Bain. And you just had your little discussion about how you would attack him. I wouldn't change a thing from the last 4 games. I wouldn't touch that with that success with a 10-foot pole. Forget the first game.
Yeah, but Bruce, hear me out on this.
Like
There's a difference. There is a difference going against Texas A&M on the road in a playoff game than going against Syracuse. I'm sorry, there's a big difference. And
well, we're not talking about. We're talking about like Pitt and State, who wasn't a bad team. My point is this, Gary. They're very successful now. Now, if you're A&M's defensive coordinator, what are you doing? You better believe the first person, the second, and the third is Malachi Toney. You're not going to let him beat you. So now we need to come up with some plays and they've used him as a decoy. You have to they could tip off. If he goes in motion, you'll see what they're going to do. But that's where these other receivers have to step up. And I think it's going to be done. I'm not worried about Malachi catching 10 balls. I want to win. I don't care how they do it. I just want to win this game. So, but I would use him if I was Dawson as a decoy. It's going to be
interesting to see how they decide to attack this game on offense. I don't think it's so clear cut. I think they got some tough decisions to make because this team, if you get in third downs, you can't afford to have incomplete passes on first down because this team has.
You're not throwing
really-
20-yard passes, Gary. You got to throw it in the flat. You got to throw to the tight end. You got to get 6
Agreed.
or 7 yards on the first down. Then the second down, you can run or pass.
Agreed. But this is the best third down defense in the country. You better make sure your third downs are manageable, in my opinion. And I think they're going to have to find their way to that and try to keep themselves out of those advantageous situations for the Texas A&M defense, which really puts a lot of pressure in the way they attack third down and the blitz schemes they use. And, you can try to replicate it in practice. I'm sure Miami has, but, being able to handle it in the game is a different story. And I think that they are going to have to be strategic. I'm going to use the term strategically aggressive in this game. They got to score points. They can't go into a shell, but they got to be smart about how they, game plan and call plays in this game. Puts a lot of pressure on Shannon Dawson and as an extension, Mario.
So what slows down a big time pass rush? Screens,
draws,
and draws, and quick passes.
Two things we haven't seen this year.
If they get these guys tired, then they can start throwing it down the field.
Bruce, I don't think we've seen a screen or a draw this entire year. I mean, we've seen bubble screens.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen a screen or a draw to a running back this entire season. Maybe this is the week. All right. Ian Killian wants to know, what's Everything 305's prediction? Oh, I saw he had popped in at one point, but he's not here anymore. So who cares what his prediction is? If he wants to come back, we'll find out what his prediction is. But let's go out to K-Mac. K-Mac, welcome back to CaneSport Live. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, fellas. How are you?
How are you, K-Mac?
Hey, I got on. I feel like the 85 Kings. I feel like I got my fatigues on, ready for war. I'll be honest with you guys. I am just tired of all the talk. I'm ready to get to the game.
Yeah, I know.
I think everything that people can talk about has been covered. What they think about the defense, what they think about the offense. A lot of everything seems to make sense. The only thing I can say really frustrates me right now is listen to. It just sounds like almost like some people are as if. It sounds like as if Miami's such an inferior team that they got. I'm like, A&M has a lot of things that they're going to have to worry about as well. We're not some kick bucket team that doesn't know how to play the game of football.
Who's stupid enough to say that? Who said that?
Oh, listen to our fans. Listen to some of our fans the way they talk. It's like everybody's like, oh, is the game going to be too big? We got to work. Let's go out there and play football. I sat here with you guys. I don't know if you remember. I think it was like week 4 or 5, and I came on and said I felt like Miami could play anybody in the country. I don't think that our roster is. I think our roster is comparable and can play with anyone. I think that they can go anywhere in the nation and not be embarrassed. I think they can put up a fight against anyone and actually.
Well, you know who agrees with you? Nick Saban.
Yeah, we have the talent. I mean, think about it. We haven't. JoJo Trader we thought was our best receiver coming into this season. Think about how he hasn't even been involved in game plans. If he can even step up a little bit and turn into what we thought he was, I feel like there's so much untapped potential that we haven't scratched the surface on. That at some point, I'm thinking it's all going to click. But I think for me, I think this is actually one game at a time. Let's go in here. This is actually, I think, Miami's toughest game, to be honest with you, in the playoffs, being that you actually have to go on the road and play in somebody else's stadium. After that, everything is neutral sites. So I'm like, if they can show the composure, get in there, and Gary, I agree 100%. Controlled, I'm not going to say chaos, but
controlled aggressiveness.
Aggression. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to show, and I said this last week, you have to be able to show that they're going to have to defend every ounce, every yard on the field. You can't be afraid to throw the deep ball. If it's there, you throw it. I'm not saying throwing a double coverage, but if you have a 40-yard post play, if Tony, CJ Daniels, JoJo, whoever, if you can run a 40-yard post and he's open, you let it rip if it's open.
That's what I say. Let's use what they're giving us and take advantage of it. They can't cover the entire field. It's impossible.
No, they can't. And I mean, think about it. The secondary only has 3 interceptions. So we're not talking about, we don't have Deion Sanders type level corners out there. So clearly, I think that we're going in with an advantage with our receivers to say that if you guys are open, we need to be able to do that. But I definitely do think that the running game, in which I agree with Gary last week on when he was talking to Matt, was I think we're going to have to resort back to the running game, not so much as to be afraid or to lessen the number of touches, because if you can score, score. I mean, if you can score in a minute and 30 seconds, you score. You take the points if the plays are executed well enough that allow you to do so. But I have no problem if at the end of the day we see 60 plays ran and it was a 35-25 split in favor of the run. I have no problem with that. I think that this is show our dominance, control the line of scrimmage, and just say this is what we can do. Again, I'm not saying A/B gap all day. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's go up. Let's do counter plays. Let's do draws. We can do many things.
You're right. Running the ball doesn't mean just the A and B gap.
No, it doesn't. You can run the ball effectively.
I'm going to ask you a legal question since I'm a lawyer. What happens if they play 5 and 6 guys in the box? You're still going to try the same thing? You can't come out with a plan like that. And if some of these teams, like we saw Florida State had 6 in the box, if they come out trying to stop our run and make us pass and make Beck beat them, what are you going to do? You're going to still do the same thing. You got to adapt to what they're giving you. If they're giving you 5 guys back there and you have 6 or 7 guys running, then you have an advantage. So I'm not so set on how we play them. I just don't want them to play scared. I want them to have fun. I want them to high five, and I want them to chest bump and do all this crap that they do. I want them to have fun. And we have fun, we kick ass. That's what I want.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't want anything scripted because I'm sure they've studied us too. And you know, they don't want to they don't want to go up against our running attack the whole game. They want to make us do one thing, just like the same thing with their quarterback. I don't want him running a damn ball. So I said maybe we'll see Keontae as a spy on this kid. You know? Yeah,
and I get on the Marcel side. I mean, Carson Beck is not going to be a threat to run, but to address your point, if they're throwing 6, 7, or 8 guys in the box, then I mean, by all means, let's not be silly. And again, this is according to Beck is a veteran. He knows college football. He sees 8 in the box. My expectation is he has the freedom to check out of a run in the middle play and throw, and again, it doesn't have to be a bomb. If you have the matchup, and the guy is open, you throw it. But play action fake now. Now you can play action fake, pull those guys up, and now you got Elijah Lofton roaming over the middle with a linebacker singled up, or maybe not even one on all, depending on if his guys the one blitzing.
Well,
and now
we need time to do that, though, K-Mac. We can't be sitting here in the pocket.
Well, we'll
have to do something right away. Once he gets comfortable, I'll feel better. I just don't want him 3rd and 9, the first 3 or 4 possessions. When he throws it away, throws a pick. We've got to do some damage on 1st down. And 2nd down.
Carson Beck's at his worst under pressure, like most quarterbacks, but he's particularly bad under pressure. They got to stay. This is a team that's all about pressure on the quarterback. Yep. They got to make sure they stay out of those situations.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You got to stay. You got to stay ahead. You got to put yourself in the most. You got to stay. If you do get 3rd downs, they have to be 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 2s. You can't be walking the there with 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 7s. It's just not. It's not a good spot to be in. And I'm not in this whole thing with the kid talking crap about Bain. First and foremost, if Ruben needed that to get going, then that, to me, that's an issue within itself.
Yeah, they made him aware of it. They made sure he saw it.
Oh no, and he should. I'm not saying shit, but that shouldn't be thing. If anything, I'll tell you what I think is a bigger point that I would bring up. The guy directly across from you, or I should say your counterpart playing on the defensive line A&M was a 1st-team All-American while you were a 2nd team. I think that gives me more motivation to go up there and show him up than anything. To say that you really think this guy's better than me, forget the tackle, because we know he's going to get help at some point during that game. The defensive coordinator is not going to let Ruben destroy their game plan. Anybody with any right mind would know. I don't care how much he talks. He knows his offensive coordinator is going to give him help on Ruben Bain at some point, because he's not going to hold up a whole game one-on-one. But I would take more of the angle to look at Ruben and say, that's the guy that they said is better than you. That was a 1st-team All-American while you're 2nd. I think that has more burn than worrying about that left tackle. He means nothing as far as
I don't know about that. That kid's pretty good.
I'm not saying he's not good.
Hair, he's real good.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not good. He's not better than Bain. Bain is more complete player than Cassius Howell. Oh yeah, he can rush the passer, but run the ball at him. He's not as good at stopping the run. He's undersized. And as a matter of fact, if they do run the ball, that's one thing I'll tell you, Gary. Forget the
he has 11.5 sacks, and Ruben's got 4.5. And I know people think that, Rubens gets held a lot. Yes, he does. So does Cowell and every other good defensive end. They all get held. Well, Miami players aren't the only ones that get held. I mean, that's part of the game.
No, Miami players are the only one that they don't get the holding penalty when somebody's holding our defensive guys. We don't get a damn call.
I watched Danny Stubbs get 17 sacks in a season. You don't think he was held some of the time? I mean, that's part of the deal.
Facts. No, I definitely think Ruben could have had a better year. I'll be honest, I was actually shocked when I saw he got second team All-American. But looking at how dominant he was, they were looking at the metrics in terms of the pressures, the hassles and things like that. There were more things.
Great grades. He was a dominant player the first 4 or 5 games of the year.
Yeah.
I just think that something happened, since the Florida State game. I don't think he's been the same. And I thought he picked it up a little bit at Pittsburgh. They need Ruben Bain at his best on Saturday, period.
At the end of the day, I think with all that being said, I think the last thing I'll end with is just saying point blank and period. I think this game is going to be what Mario is preached forever. You got to win the battle in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Win the battle in the trenches, and I believe everything else will take care of itself. If you can run the ball effectively with play action and get your passes in there. Again, I'm not saying reel it in. Dominate, be able to run the ball effectively and be able not so much to stop the run, but contain and pressure Reed, put him in bad situations. And I think no doubt in my mind that Miami will come out with the victory this Saturday. And I don't believe the game is too big for them. And I really don't. I think just go in there and play football. Coaches get them ready. Everybody come and do your job and execute. I think we'll be just fine, fellas.
All right, K-Mac. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yes, sir.
Have
a good night.
Have a good night. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you Sunday, and we'll be talking about a victory. All right, let's go to
crying about a loss.
Huh?
Or crying like sometimes we do.
Yeah, maybe we'll see if we don't win. Maybe we'll skip a show. No. Let's go to BK Hurricane, man. What's up, BK? What you got for us?
What's up, Gary? What's up, Bruce? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Wow.
I think, Gary, I don't know what to say. I'm a big homer. I'm thinking we're going all the way to the national championship. I'm not saying we're going to win it. I like our path to the championship. I like the Texas A&M matchup. I like the possible Ohio State matchup. And anything after that, I think it'll just be an eye on the prize type thing. But I said this earlier in the year. The teams that will make it to the national championship will have experienced quarterbacks. Guys that get under this, guys that have a lot of snaps. And I'm seeing there's not too many of them, but I'm looking at one in Miami that had a ton of snaps. And Mendoza in Indiana. Dante Moore, first year starting. Julian Sayin, first year starting. Marcel Reed was a year, and he's only have a year and a half worth of play. I don't want to sound like that guy, but I like these matchups with Miami, Gary and Bruce. I just do.
I like it too.
Go buy some lottery tickets. Maybe you're on a roll.
if I hit, you'd never see me again. You'd be seeing me at the games.
Right now, you can get the Canes plus 3.5.
The Canes plus 3.5?
Yeah, plus 3.5.
Canes plus 3.5. That's the line. Yep.
I think Miami's going to pull a Miami in this game. They're going to go up in the fourth quarter by 17. Texas A&M scores a couple of garbage points in the fourth quarter. We win by 7.
Sounds good.
Typical Miami offense in the fourth quarter. They're going to try to run out the clock. But just to pivot for a second, right, with the transfer portal, I know Matt had a lot to say about the quarterbacks and all that stuff, but I've been keeping an eye on it, and they have these guys just every report have these guys going all over the place. Miami's in the conversation with for everybody just automatically. Bryce, what's the kid from Michigan? Bryce Underwood, whatever his name is, Underwood. Oh, Miami's in their top 4. Lagway, he's in that top 4.
It's the agents, man. They throw Miami into everything because people know if Miami's involved, they got to pay. That's why they do it.
I just don't know what quarterback is coming here, but I would hope that they get it handled as soon as the transfer portal opens, because we don't want this thing dragging on like it did the last 2 years.
Going on behind the scenes, it'll get handled.
Okay.
Listen, and I don't think Miami minds all the chaos either. They don't want people to know what they're doing and who they're looking at.
Because at this point,
get rumored.
At this point, everybody in the transfer portal is going to Miami. Everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Everybody in the transfer portal is going to Miami.
But better. The more smoke screens, the better.
But do you think we pulled 2 or 3 linebackers out of the portal this year? Or at least attempt to pull 2 or 3 linebackers, good linebackers?
I don't think they're going to have a limit on what they take, but I think they're going to have a standard. I don't think they're looking for too many roster fillers here. I think they're looking for impact guys. I think you'll see them take 10, 12 players in the portal this year.
We need an impact guy at linebacker for sure. That's our weakness on this defense's linebacker.
Yep, you can use a veteran defense, a couple veteran defensive linemen too.
I like the Mohamed Toure kid. He's real good, fast, athletic, but every game he gets caught peeking in the backfield. Somebody ends up running past him and he has to chase him down the field. Every single game. I just hope they tell him, listen, don't even look at the backfield. This game, we don't even want you peeking in the backfield. But he has that mental error every single game. He has the mental error. I'm really proud of our defensive backs. And the best compliment that was given to the defensive backs is that nobody knows who they are. That's a compliment because they're not getting exposed. They're shutting down everybody. Oh, somebody said they don't have that many they don't have that many interceptions because nobody's throwing the ball. Nobody's throwing the ball on the Xavier Lucas side of the field, the Poiser, whoever else is out there. I even forget that it's Amari Brown. We could just roll out these defensive backs, and nobody's scoring on these kids. Even when we lost to Texas to Louisville and SMU, Louisville pulled off. I've seen things in that Louisville game that I saw some of the most amazing catches that I thought I'd never seen. And Louisville had all of them. Even that last interception was amazing. The ball was an inch from the ground, and the guy just.
Yeah, it was.
So I think Miami's in a good position to make a nice little run here. I think this is going to set us up good next year. And next year, if we don't handle business this year, I fully expect us to be number 1 next year. We're going to end the season as the number 1 team next year. Okay.
I happen to think this is a really, really big game for Mario. I'm saying that I believe it. I think this is a golden opportunity for him to shut everybody up. Even
he could shut a lot of people up.
I understand, but you know what? They lost 2 games. We wouldn't have had this nonsense had they beaten SMU, who was a banged-up team, and destroyed them. I mean, and Louisville's good. They have a great offensive coach. He's good at that. But we shouldn't have lost to SMU. We shouldn't have been involved in all this crap. We should have been 6 or 7, maybe. Well, we may have gotten into the ACC title, but I just think that we've got to keep our heads on. We can't pull the plug. We can't take our foot off the gas. We can't. We got to go out there and play football. We're capable of it. But we can't. And I think that's the worst thing that could happen. We fall behind.
One last thing. I'm going to let some other people get on. Is the ACC going to fix that disaster of that tiebreaker that going into next? Are they going to fix that?
They are. Let's not say they're going to fix it. They're going to try to fix it, but they just screwed up again. They put out a schedule today with some teams playing 8 ACC games next year and some teams playing 9. How do you have standings? How do you have legitimacy? It's the all chaos conference. It's ridiculous.
At this point, the ACC should just take the 2 highest ranked teams in the polls and just let them play. Because if you're going to have a schedule like that, just have the 2 highest ranked teams play. Yeah. Because it doesn't mean anything. The ACC is a disaster.
Yep.
The ACC is a disaster that they couldn't figure that out.
You're right. It's
embarrassing.
It's ridiculous.
It is. But listen, guys, thanks a lot. I'm going to let everybody else get a chance to get on. But I'll be on Sunday when we win.
Yeah, we'll be back Sunday night with another CaneSport Live for all you that are watching. And we'll be talking about the game. But,
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Sunday, man. Yep. All right, let's go to Jake out there in the beautiful part of the country. And Jake, welcome back to CaneSport Live. How's the wine going down tonight?
So interesting. You should ask about that.
Well, some guy in the comments keeps accusing you of doing cocaine. I have to set the record straight. It's wine. It's not cocaine.
No, it's just wine. When I was a younger man,
After the cocaine, it's got the wine. Okay.
I dug into the cellar today, and in honor of the playoffs, I found a bottle from 2002.
Oh. What is it?
Wow.
Cab?
No. This is a Merlot from Tuscany, and it's a 2002. I actually had to drink this, but because it's perfect, but just right on that cusp. But it's been 23 years since we've played meaningful football after November.
It's insane, Jake. I remember sitting at the Fiesta Bowl, like, wow, man, this is like, we had just won the Rose Bowl the year before. Now we're at the Fiesta Bowl. Like, this is unbelievable. And I'm thinking we're going to be doing this every year. Like, there's nothing greater than this. And then we've gone through these 23 years. It's insane.
I moved down to Miami, and it was just after I was making plans to move down there, and I thought just nonstop championships, everything else. And
we all thought that.
Oh boy, was I wrong. Although the next year was pretty damn good, but it went sour from there. But I hope. A lot of the guys who've been on before this kind of commented to this, and I hope this team, and I don't think, because Mario, look, I've had plenty of criticisms. I've had my issues with him, but he does show up for the big games, and for what it's worth, he has his guys ready to rock, and I hope that continues. They say he's 4-1 in these like top 10 matchups or high quality matchups, and I hope this continues. I hope the SEC gets exposed this year.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't see any team in the SEC. Georgia looked really good against Alabama, but you know what? I got to be honest, and my wife's upstairs, so I can say this, but Alabama wasn't that good this year. They really weren't. They lost by 2 touchdowns to Florida State. Yeah, it's early in the season. This doesn't matter. That doesn't count. They lost to them. They lost to Oklahoma, who I also don't think is that good and probably even belongs being in here. I just really want this team to show up. I think this is actually our hardest game. I know Ohio State's not going to be a pushover, but these are all neutral stadiums after this.
Right. Well, I think if they win, Gary, on Saturday, they play Ohio State in the same stadium next Saturday. They play in Cowboy Stadium again.
At the Cowboy Stadium, correct?
Well, no, but I couldn't get tickets.
Call it a home game.
Yeah, no, it's not a home game. That like this stupid ticket situation, such bullshit. I'm somewhat relieved because I have absolutely zero desire to go to College Station, Texas.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool there. It's not a bad. It's a fun stadium to go to.
I'm sure it is. That is on a list of places I would like to watch a game. I do. Well,
wait,
here's the thing.
You don't want to go.
What's that?
You go, no. If you want to go there, now's the time. Get there this weekend.
The tickets are like $700, and you know what? We're so spoiled as Miami fans. And for anyone who bitches about Hard Rock Stadium, go park your ass in a bleacher and pay $700 to do it. There's nothing worse than college football stadiums. Like, it's fun to go tailgate and do all that, but Yeah, like the tickets for anything decent, it's $700, $800, $1,000, and to sit my ass in a bleacher, no, thank you. So they're saving
If
me
we're gonna
that.
do anything, take a walk on the Hurricane sideline before the game.
Yeah, you were talking about all the shit and everything. I hope Mario cleaned that.
He's
Oh
not
my
gonna
God,
clean it.
you think I'm joking? I'm not joking.
No, he's not joking.
They had 30
No, I
damn
mean, like,
horses.
but
I should have found the video. I got the video somewhere.
hire a rodeo clown or something. Like, rile up that horse, get him running around the stadium off our sideline.
No, it's horses.
Horses.
Yeah, horses.
You get in there in the lower level for 600 by Saturday.
Yeah, it's too late. I'm if we win, I've got tickets for the next 3 games, so
okay.
I'm all in on it. But yeah, it's just what bullshit. Like that's something I think they should clean up. Where you got to allocate some tickets. They can fit 100.
What are they supposed to do? Kick out their season ticket holders? They can't. They can't do that.
I guarantee you. Texas A&M does not have every single seat in that stadium allocated for season ticket holders. Guaranteed. Like
I have to look into that. I don't know, but they might. They might.
No, most teams release tickets, and like for big time, like Ohio State or Texas A&M or Michigan, they'll hold back 10, 15, 20%. That was bullshit. 3% of the tickets. I mean, you got to allocate a percentage of them. That's nonsense.
They did 10%. What is it? 10,000, Gary, out of 100,000?
Yeah.
No, well that's what it should be. If they had
10,000 tickets, is what they allocated. 3%.
Oh, 3,000.
Yeah, 3,000 tickets.
I think it was 3,500, but yeah.
That's crazy because you're
crazy.
Also not even a blip in that stadium. Like if we had to allocate 3,500 tickets, that's like 5-6% of our stadium.
I think Miami allocates more like 7,000 for opponents or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy that they like. I don't know. I think that's just something they should clean up. As it pertains to the game, I really think, Carson Beck is obviously going to be one of the key factors in this game, which version of him shows up. If it's the one we've seen in the last 4 weeks or so, I think the chances are good. But with this team getting healthy, I think one of the huge keys is actually going to be CJ Daniels. I don't know what the status is on him. The last 5-6 weeks
He's
of the
healthy.
season.
Yeah, he played. He played last week.
He did, but like it was very sparingly. He wasn't, he wasn't the number 2 guy. And I think, they're going to have Tony dialed up. They're going to have Fletcher dialed up, Marty Brown, even probably Keelan Marion to a degree. I think
he's played well.
He's played well the whole year. Yeah.
He's really good.
Everybody's got to step up. It's showtime.
Yep.
And then the 2 other guys, I think somebody might have said it earlier, but I think Elijah Lofton and JoJo Trader, they've had the time to put in. You got an extra 3 weeks to prepare for this one. Show everyone what the hype was about coming into this year.
JoJo showed out last year when we lost to Iowa State. He played really well in that game. That was his best game of the season. So maybe the same thing will happen this year. Last game of the season, he shows out.
Yeah. Well, not the last game of the season, Bruce. Not the last game of the season.
Well, whatever. It's the last game that we know we're
First
in.
game of the playoffs. First game of the playoffs. That's it.
Hey, look who that is. It's showtime. Here's Jerome. That was a clutch player.
I think we got one last home game left this season. That's what I keep saying. Just
wouldn't that be nice?
That last home
how
win.
good? How cool would that be?
I mean, doesn't that seem? But like this year, they're really. This kind of reminds me of 2007, where there just wasn't like everyone was 11-2 that year. There was no definitive. Like, oh, this team's got it. This team is just destined for it. that was right before Bama went on their run.
How
And
about Miami, Oregon in the national title game? How cool would that be?
wouldn't that be wild? That would
That'd
be
be
a
wild.
wild
Yeah,
one.
that'd be
Someone
cool.
say after Beck plays Georgia, and that would be something. But there is nothing. I think we do have probably the hardest route to the championship. There's no question about that. But I also just don't see anything on this schedule that can't be overcome.
You're not scared. There's even Ohio State. You're not scared.
No, I hope the guys aren't. The Ohio State is not the Ohio State of last year. There's flaws in it. Georgia has flaws on them. So, I actually, if we get through those, I think the national championship's a breeze.
We think we're better than Indiana? Not that I've seen them play that much, but
100%. I don't buy it. I don't buy the SEC and the Big Ten. And it's not that these teams aren't good. It's not that any of these guys can't beat you in any given week. I just don't see a dominant team. And that makes it awesome because, obviously we've got that rooting interest in Miami. It could be any other team other than Tulane and James Madison. The playoff committee has got to clean that shit up. Unbelievable. Like what are these two trash bags doing mucking up this playoff? Why? What's the point of it? Go get an NIT playoff for all the shit teams that can't win it in the group of 5, but quit sullying. Like there's deserving teams out there that are going to be watching, Notre Dame included. I hate them and I love shitting on them. My brother-in-law roots for them, and I had a lot of fun last week talking shit to him. But James Madison doesn't belong in this playoff. Tulane does not. But what is the point of this?
I think they need to create a play-in. If you create a play-in and let those teams earn their way in, I think it would be much better.
Just do an NIT.
Well, no. Have a play-in week where your 2 lowest ranked teams play the 2 group of 5 teams, and they have to earn their way into the tournament.
But what's the point? To what end? They can't
be fair to all the conferences, to not be elitist, But it shouldn't be given to them. They should have to earn it.
I'll be elitist. What's
give them an opportunity?
What's
the harm in giving them a chance to earn it? Have play-in games the week of the conference championship games.
Well, if they get blown out a year or 2 or 3, then they'll probably get rid of it. But they won't do it now. Playoff is a good idea
that week because they could be playing. So maybe the week after that, you give them an opportunity to play their way in.
Could have played this past weekend,
huh?
You could have played this past weekend for those play-in games.
Correct. All right, Jake, you got anything else for us tonight?
No, that's it. Just show up. 60 minutes of football. I liked Matt's comment. The middle 60. Don't go to sleep. I think Mario. He had his fingerprints on those losses, and even some of our leads slipping away from us earlier in the season. Don't let teams back in. Go get that lead. Foot on the gas. Don't stop.
I think he knows that now. I think he knows it now.
I think he learned his lesson. And I said it on the last show or the show before. That to me shows he's ready to take that next step because he usually in his coaching career has been stubborn.
He's stubborn.
Dug in. But
yeah, this is a tough one though, man. This is a hard game plan to settle on, in my opinion.
Oh, there's no doubt. It's a tough stadium.
When they flipped in the middle, they're here the last month, and they went to this new look offense. I was like, I know I wrote in my column, they can't go back. They just can't. This is too good.
Yeah, right. That's what I said.
But I'm not sure that that's the best route for this game. We'll see.
Well, maybe they'll run a little bit more, but I don't think they should do anything different. They should not be running, and then passing on third down. They're going
We
to
got
get
so much more. We've got a healthy CJ Daniels. JoJo's starting to show up.
Lofton's
Elijah
healthy.
Got to
Lofton,
establish play action opportunities, in my opinion. We'll
big
see.
time, big time. Just keep them moving back. Like that's the thing. If you can put this team on their heels, this offensive line then can go to town. They can chop some wood, but you got to have them on their heels. You can't just be a gap Mario and up the gut. Like you have to be unpredictable. You have to show them things they haven't seen before, or at least mix it up to the point where they're not playing forward, they're playing backward. And because like their secondary, it's okay. Their linebackers, okay. If you can get this defensive line neutralized, I think sky's the limit.
If you're throwing the ball to the wings all the time, they're going to have to get out of that 5-6 man box. They're going to have to move away.
Yeah.
Then you can run. That's why I'm saying you got to take what they give you. If they're stacking the box, you got to be throwing the ball. Slants, curls, anything. Quick outs. You throw it to Malachi, but you've got to get rid of the ball.
Elko's a good coach. Just don't play into their advantages. Don't play to their advantages. I think our defense is better than their offense, but the key is which version of our offense shows
Give me
up.
two more thoughts, you guys. One, penalties. Dumb penalties. The wrong time, 3rd and 4, whatever, 3rd and 2, and you're false starting again. And the second thing is special teams. I think our kicker's better than theirs. I think he could be a big help. We can't, but we have to have special teams. We have to play well.
Do we one last thing and then I'll hop off. Do we have any idea which officiating crew? Hopefully,
I asked that the other day. I don't know.
Goddamn, hopefully not an ACC.
It'll be a Big 10 maybe or 12 crew, I would think.
hope Big 12. They seem to be pretty neutral.
Yeah, it'll be one of those two. It won't be SEC or ACC.
Sorry, one other thought. What the fuck? Why is the Big 12 sticking up for us more than our own goddamn commissioner? What is that? Like the Big 12 commissioner goes after A&M or not after A&M, after Notre Dame harder than our own damn commissioner. What? I don't know. I'm curious your take on that, but what bullshit like that.
I don't think Jim Phillips has distinguished himself the last few weeks. I'll say that much.
No, he's not.
That guy needs to go find new work.
We got in despite him. That's all that matters. All right, Jake. We'll see what happens, man. Come back Sunday night.
Sunday after a victory.
Sunday night, yes, sir. We'll see
3
that.
touchdowns. Let's
We'll all
stick
be
with
smoking
it.
something, huh?
Sounds good to me.
Cigarette, pot, whatever you want to go smoke it. If they win.
All right, Bruce. Any parting thoughts here as we get ready?
Yeah, my parting thoughts is it's been a really long 23 years. Really long. Like a third of our lives, me and you, it's a third of our lives. It's just hard to believe. So like
Crazy.
I said, this is a golden opportunity to really shut people up. No, Miami didn't back in. They didn't get lucky. We deserve to be here. We need that, which will help recruiting for years to come. But this is a signature win for Mario. If we win this game, it's a big game. Something back in our day, we didn't lose big games. We won all the ball games. If we didn't win the ball game, we got screwed. But it's not the same. These kids don't have the same mentality as what they had back then. I don't know. But
they don't. But they need to get it.
Yeah.
So everybody keeps broken Ruben Dane, man.
Jerome. And I know, because when Jerome was on the practice field, if somebody screwed up, he would just look at you. He wouldn't scream. He'd just stare at you, and you would go hide someplace because you didn't want to confront him. But I think we have a really good shot at winning, but we cannot go away from what we've been doing. I don't like playing defense when we're on offense. I don't. I want to see us attack these guys, have a good game plan, be able to score, play good defense, and pull this thing out. I think it would be a major. And imagine the the mental benefits to winning this and getting ready for Ohio State with a win under your belt. Right? I'd love to see
Strategic
that.
aggression. I like that.
Yeah.
Don't you like that word?
Yeah.
Strategic aggression.
Isn't it
That's
2
right.
words?
Yeah, it's 2 words, but yeah, strategic aggression to me is the key to this game. Be aggressive, but be smart aggressive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going to win, but it's going to be really close.
It's going to be close. It's going to be tough, I think. Fourth
Yep.
quarter, game will be decided. All right, we
Yep.
want to thank everybody who participated tonight. Thank Matt Shodell. Thank Bruce for coming on board here for hour number 2. Looking forward to the trip on Friday up there to College Station, and Saturday is going to be lit. We'll try to bring home a victory to the 305. We'll be back here Sunday night with a special CaneSport live show to chop it up and talk about what we see on Saturday.
Wear
for
a
now-
mask and a clothespin on your nose, Gary.
I can't
And
wait.
don't call me
I'm-
second in duty.
I got to figure out how I'm going to handle that if those horses come back on the Miami sideline. I mean, I'll be filming, of course, because I got to bring the action to everybody. But oh my God, man, that was really one of the craziest things I've ever
I
seen.
know.
To have horses shitting on. I should have found the video. I mean, I'm sure I could find it somewhere.
I saw a video you going on the side and the horses going left and right. And the poop
You remember?
Yeah.
They were pooping all over the damn side. I'd never seen anything like that. Unbelievable. But anyway, thanks again to everybody for watching tonight, and we'll see you Sunday night with a after the game edition.
A victory
CaneSport.
party, baby. Victory party.
Yes, sir. Hopefully it will be a victory party. Have a great night, everybody.
You too.